man. Yo, who the F is this?
Hey guys, it's Nina, and today I'm doing my first Friday 5 video. Friday 5, if you don't know, is basically like the Top 5 Wednesday, but for music. So obviously it's not on Wednesdays, it's on Fridays, and every week there's a different topic, and you choose your favorite 5 of whatever that topic is. So like some weeks it's about artists or music or what have you. Same as Top 5 Wednesday. This group is run through Tumblr instead of Goodreads, so I will link all the appropriate links down below if you want to check them out. And this week's topic is your top 5 favorites from 2015. So that can either be albums, songs, artists, whatever you want to do. So I personally chose to do my top 5 albums, and then within that, I'll give my favorite song from that album. And these are going to be in no particular order, because that would be insanely hard. I mean, it was hard enough just choosing 5. Well, that's a lie. I didn't just choose 5, I chose 6 because there was one runner-up that I just had to include. I just couldn't bring myself to not put it on the list. So the 6th one is a runner-up, and then the 5 other ones are on an even playing field. So my 6th favorite and runner-up is going to be Handwritten by Shawn Mendes.
Red wine Friday night, never forget it. How you let me go. No more lies, I'll be fine, know where I'm headed.
This album is just wonderful. It's got a lot of like acoustic like guitars. It's got a lot of slower like sadder songs, but it's also got some like peppy songs and like some songs that are like halfway in between. And Shawn Mendes is amazing. I love him. And this album, like, I couldn't not include this on here, so I just had to make it a runner-up. And my favorite song from this album is Stitches. I used to listen to this all the time with one of my best friends from high school. It was like our song. So here's a horrible clip of me lip-syncing that.
Move on, you watch me bleed until I can't breathe. Shaking body onto my knees. And now that I'm without your kisses, I'll be needing stitches. Tripping over myself, aching, begging you to come out. And now that I'm without your kisses, I'll be needing stitches.
My favorite album that came out this year was the soundtrack to the new Broadway musical, Hamilton.
I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot.
So Hamilton is basically like a rap hip-hop musical about the life of Alexander Hamilton and his crew, so you know George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Aaron Burr, etc., all those founding fathers, and it is amazing. I have been so obsessed with this album for the past few months. I haven't seen the show in person. And the soundtrack is basically the musical, like there's not much dialogue other than the soundtrack. So I've basically listened to the play a lot of times. It is just amazing. I recommend this to everyone and anyone. Like, I personally am a huge history nerd. I love anything to do with history. So I would tell you not to take my word, except that I know a lot of people who didn't like history class in high school or whatever, and they love this. And then also, even if you're not a musical theater person, like, so much of this album is hip-hop rap. Like, there are some ballads in it that are beautiful, but for the most part, it's very modern, and it's not your typical musical theater numbers. So I would recommend this to everyone and anyone. And my current favorite song from this album is Nonstop.
The Constitution's a mess.
So it needs amendments?
It's full of contradictions.
So is independence. We have to start somewhere.
No way.
You're making a mistake.
Good night.
Hey, what are you waiting for? What do you stall for?
What?
We won the war. What was it all for? Do you support this Constitution?
Of course.
Then defend it.
And what if you're backing the wrong horse?
Burr, we studied and we fought and we killed for the notion of a nation we now get to build. For once in your life, take a stand with pride. I don't understand how you stand to the side.
I'll keep all my plans close to my chest.
My next favorite album is Blurry Face by 21 Pilots.
The songs on the radio are okay, but my taste in music is your face.
It blows my mind how much happens in a year. Like, 21 Pilots is now like my second favorite band. Like, they are amazing. I love them so much. Like, Blurry Face I've listened to way too many times, and yet all of that happened this year. I hadn't even heard of 21 Pilots before my friend told me about them earlier this year, and it's so incredible how much has changed since then. This album is just amazing. I love every single song on it, except maybe Goner. But this album, the songs are just amazing. There's like ukulele parts. The lyrics are deep, and like I'm just so emotionally attached to this album. I can't even put it into words how much I love it. And my favorite song, because I do have one, is Ride.
I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. Taking my time on my ride.
The next album on my list is Sounds Good, Feels Good by 5 Seconds of Summer.
She's kinda hot though. Yeah, she's kinda hot though.
So 5 Seconds of Summer is amazing. This album is amazing. This album only came out like a month and a half ago or something, but I have been so obsessed with it, like just listening to it on repeat all the time. The reason I love this album so much is, I mean, one, the songs are just really catchy, but two, like, the first time you listen to this album, you have to listen to it in order, because the beginning of the album is very peppy. It's got songs like She's Kinda Hot and like Money and just like all these songs that you would hear on the radio, and then as the album goes on, it gets a little darker or sadder, I guess. Like the songs are still fun and infectious, but the lyrics get so much deeper. And that's something that I never associated with 5 Seconds of Summer before until this album came out, and it's just so amazing. And I can't even like give a favorite song for this album because, I mean, one, is relatively new, so I haven't had time to develop a favorite, but secondly, like, I just love every single song on here, and I have like 4 or 5 favorites. Like, at first I was like, oh, well, Jet Black Heart's my favorite, and then I was like, but Invisible, and San Francisco, and Airplanes, and Safety Pin, and probably more. Like, I'm probably forgetting one. Like, I love this album to pieces, and I don't have a favorite. So I'm going to bother you with a hodgepodge of like 3 or 4 different songs instead.
How we drift so far away from where we left off yesterday. I'm lonely like a castaway. Oh, but this time, maybe this time, 2 wrongs make it right. Safety pin, the pieces of our broken hearts back together. Airplanes cut to the clouds like angels can fly. We'll never die. Sirens cut to the night like screams set on fire, rising on high. I wanna get back to where we started, to the summer night. You know, we got it right. Yeah, I wanna get back to San Francisco in the firelight. You know, we had it right.
Next up is Smoke and Mirrors by Imagine Dragons.
So I live my life. I live my life on you.
So for those of you who aren't aware, Imagine Dragons is my favorite band of all time, so I would not be a true fan if Smoke and Mirrors was not on this list. This album is really cool. It's very different from their first album, which is Night Visions, which is still my favorite. Like, I still do love Night Visions more than Smoke and Mirrors, but Smoke and Mirrors still was very good, and I love it to pieces, and I love pretty much every song on there. But it's got like a really weird tone to it, like it's kind of genreless. Like, I don't know what genre I would put it in, and it's just very unique, and I really like that about it. And my favorite song from this album, no competition required, is Shots. But certainly not least is Badlands by Halsey.
My ghost, where'd you go? I can't find you in the body sleeping next to me.
Halsey is another artist that I just discovered this year. I didn't discover her until like June, and because she was an opening act for Imagine Dragons, so I saw her there, and she was amazing. And then this year, her first album, Badlands, dropped, and it's just amazing. I love this album so much. Again, I love every single song on there. Just amazing. It's very, I don't know how to describe it, it's very alternative-ish, alternative-ish that's not a genre. I don't know how to describe it. It's just amazing. Her voice is really cool. Her music style is very distinct. I don't know what else to say about it. I just love it. And my favorite song from her album is Colors.
Everything is blue. His pills, his hands, his jeans, and now I'm covered in the colors, pulled apart at the seams, and it's blue. And it's blue. Everything is gray. His hair, his smoke, his dreams, and now he's so devoid of color. He don't know what it means.
That is it. Those are all my favorite albums and songs from those albums. And comment down below what you guys like, what your favorite artists or albums or songs from this year are, because I love talking about music. Music is like my second passion. Like, I love books, but music even takes the cake. I love music so much. So yes, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to see more of my videos. I will hopefully see you guys tomorrow with another video if I get my Vlogmas stuff back on track. Bye.
Metaphorically, I'm the man, but literally, I don't know what I do. I live for you, and that's how I do. Even hardly understand when you know it's not true. Even harder to decide when you know it tonight. That when people back home are trying talking to you, but then you ignore them still.
Last but not least is Badlands. Nope.